Joining us today for Primetime Local News is Yawa Edie with the Africa Center. Thank you so much for joining us today, Yawa.
Thank you for having me, Shelby.
Of course, no problem. Really excited to be able to speak with you because for residents that may not have heard of this here in Lloydminster, can we just kind of start off with, a general understanding of what the center is all about, what it does for residents in Edmonton?
Yeah, so I work with the Africa Center and we do a whole bunch of things. The center has really grown over the last few years. I remember coming as a kid to the daycare and summer camp program like 10, 15 years ago. So now being able to work here and see everything that we do from entrepreneurship and employment programs to mental health programs, youth programs, seniors programs. There's a whole bunch of different programming for different demographics in the African, Black, and Caribbean community. So honestly, we could end off at like 9 p.m. if I talked about everything that we do here, but there's definitely a lot of programming that is specific to different demographics that I think are really beneficial to the community.
And I know with us, based here in Lloydminster, for people that may be interested, you're not closed off to people in the surrounding area.
No, actually, so a lot of our programming, even though we are based in Edmonton and we actually do have some roots in Calgary now, so we really are expanding. It's great to see. A lot of the programming is available for people throughout all of Alberta, especially within the mental health programming, which I'm sure we'll touch on a little bit more in this interview. Our counseling clinic is open to everyone in Alberta. So from maybe Fort McMurray down to Lethbridge, Lloyd, south of the border of Alberta, anyone that's here in Alberta can access those services.
Oh, no, that's really amazing to hear. Now, what would you say is kind of the importance, and I know you're already kind of bringing it up a bit, but the importance of having the Africa Center for people in Edmonton and, of course, the surrounding area and how it benefits those people?
I think when you take a look at a population like African, Black, or Caribbean people, there are so many specific needs and nuances that come with this group of people. So having the Africa Center develop programming and tailor programming specific to this group of people is super important because then you know that things don't get missed. And not to say, we always have room for improvement, but it's really special to know that when you go into a service or you go into a program, you can think and feel that, this was made specifically for me or made with me in mind. So I think within the Africa Center and, reaching out to different populations in Alberta, having a resource or having a place or a hub that people can go to and know that, this is made for me. I can be myself here. I can know that my needs and my culture and everything that makes me me and my community is addressed, I think is really important. So yeah, just having people throughout all of Alberta that identify as African, Black, or Caribbean, we really want to make sure that they know of us because there's a whole bunch of programming here that can benefit people of that community.
And I know the center, you're already bringing this up, has an amazing mental health program. So let's kind of get into that. And can you expand a bit on that and what exactly it does for people?
Yeah, so in terms of mental health, one of the main things that people utilize is therapy and counseling, which is super important for many reasons. Not just people who are in crisis, but people who want to proactively take care of their mental health. Therapy and counseling is a great tool, but it can be quite expensive, and there can be many barriers to access, such as location, having to maybe drive to see your therapist. Cost, like I mentioned, it could be anywhere from 180 to $230 per session. Additionally, sometimes it's hard to find someone that you relate to in terms of therapy, especially for African, Black, and Caribbean people. Sometimes you want someone who has that cultural understanding or who comes from the same background. But we know there's an underrepresentation of, African, Black, and Caribbean professionals in the mental health field. So with this mental health clinic, it's really special wherein it was made specifically to remove as many barriers as possible. So one, it's free, there's no cost to it. To all of our therapists are Black. So if you're really someone who's seeking an African, Black, or Caribbean therapist, the 13, 14, 15 therapists that we have on hand are all Black. Additionally, they speak multiple languages. So there's French, there's Swahili, there's Shona, and we also have interpreters available too. So if we don't have the language available, we can seek out someone who does speak that language. And it's hybrid. So we have in-person options available for people who like that face-to-face connection, but for the most part, it's virtual. So when we say anyone in Alberta can access it, you can access it online. You don't have to be in Edmonton to utilize the therapy.
Oh, no, that's really amazing. That's why I was really glad to be able to reach out and speak with you on this, just kind of see a little bit more updated thing on the Africa Center to see what's been going on. So is there anything more you want to add on what's been happening with the center and like what people could expect that could be coming up, any events or like you were saying, how people here in Lloyd could even reach out and get involved with the center?
Yeah, definitely. So if you're ever down in Calgary, we're having a whole bunch of events there too in terms of the way the center has been expanding. We have our gender equity program that has just started kind of doing a lot of events in Calgary, so we're making a presence there. And even in terms of the mental health programming, right now we've only had the clinic, which has been great. But over the next year, you can expect to see a lot more mental health awareness and engagement events, which is really, really fun because although the therapy piece is really important, sometimes being proactive means, having these events that, give awareness of what mental health actually is in the community and proactive and fun ways just to take care of your mental health, whether this is paint nights, whether this is wellness events, doing yoga and having just community come out to partake in some social activities just to make sure that the camaraderie is there and that mental health is being maintained. So yeah, over the next year, you can expect to see a lot of things and the Africa Center really expanding their horizons.
And were you saying that there was like a website or another way of online source that people can go and look into and just be able to find some more information through online?
100%. So we have the website, which is just africacenter.ca. And for those who are interested in, taking a look at the free counseling, I really want to reiterate, although our emphasis is on the African, Black, and Caribbean people, our clinic is open for everyone. So anyone is able to come and utilize the free therapy as they see fit, as long as they're in Alberta. It's completely free. All you have to do is put your name, email, number, make an account, and it's as simple as getting an appointment the next day. So all you would have to do is go onto our website. All the information is there. And then we have emails for all of our coordinators. So if you have any more questions on what the programs do or how to get involved, you can definitely reach out to any of our staff members.
Perfect. Yeah, well, I'm really glad we could speak with you once again. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I think it's really amazing what the Africa Center is doing for communities out there. So hopefully some people here in the border city may watch this and know where to reach out if they're ever struggling with those issues. So thank you so much again.
Thank you so much for having me.